Salutations and welcome to the farm. Recently I had a subscriber ask me what I was going to be canning this year as the crops come in and as I start canning season again. What are my favorite items to can? So I picked my top 5 with a couple of honorable mentions, and I thought I would go over them with you today, show you some pictures, and I will link any of the ones that I've already shown how to do this if I've already made videos. Many of these I made before I started making videos for YouTube, but I will be making the videos for them this summer as I go through the process for each one. So I've got 5 jars here of some of my top favorites. And again, like I said, I'll have some honorable mentions, and that's because they're all gone. I've already gone through everything that we canned of some of our absolute favorites. So I will put some pictures up and we'll talk about them a little bit. My turkey says good morning, and I will show you some of my all-time favorites. Now, these are my favorites from last year. At the end of the canning season, I did get a pressure canner, and I've got some pressure canned things that I'll be doing coming up this summer. I will be doing our corn, green beans, and other things I will be pressure canning. But for these, I just wanted to share some of my most favorite. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to grab them as we go here. So one of my top 5 is my homemade cranberry juice. I just did not realize how much we were going to love this cranberry juice until we started opening it, drinking it, enjoying it. It is absolutely amazing. This last winter, I made cranberry juice, cran orange juice, cran raspberry juice, and cran apple juice. I wanted to make some cran grape juice, but there weren't any Concord grapes available in my area, so I passed on that one. But I did make a video. I will show you how to do that. I will link that video in an iCard up above. I'll put the information down below if I can as well in the description box. But this cranberry juice is beautiful. Now, I canned this right around Thanksgiving season this last fall, and I paid not top dollar for my cranberries, but I paid more than I should have. If I would have been a little patient, if I would have waited. After Thanksgiving, tons of cranberries went on sale in the market for 50 cents a bag, 25 cents a bag. That's when you get them. Wait until you can get them on sale. You can pop them in your freezer, and then you can make things with them. So wait until you can get your cranberries on sale for the best bang for your buck. You will appreciate this so much. I believe I made 24 quarts last year. I'll be making at least that many or doubling it if I get the opportunity to this year. This year I can afford to be patient. Drinking cranberry juice is great for your urinary tract system, so I highly recommend this. Yes, it has sugar. You can make it without sugar. I use some sugar in mine, but it's delicious and we love it. Now when I open this, I strain all of the juice from the berries, then I take the berries and I bake them into muffins. So there's no waste here. This is a really great thing to can. I highly recommend it. So this is one of my top favorites. The next favorite, and we have gone through jars and jars and jars of these, are Fiesta Pinto Beans. I learned about making these Fiesta Pinto Beans over at Summer Days. I will put a link to her channel in the description below. If you get a chance, go by, see her. If you subscribe, tell her that Country Mama Music sent you. This is a great dry bean method. I know I'm going to get some canning purists that say it's not safe, it's not safe. We've had absolutely no problems. When I open these, I cook them, and then a lot of the times I make refried beans out of them. I will honestly say, I have not purchased refried beans since I've started doing my beans this way. And yes, it's a small jar, and it is just about perfect for 2 of us. So it is the perfect size for us. I make a special Fiesta sauce. It's a dry powder mix to go in with these beans. And if I have not already made a video, I will be making a video soon to show you how to make your own Fiesta Ranch dip mix and then make these Fiesta beans. I love them. I did these in pinto beans and I did these in black beans. We are thoroughly enjoying them this year. You can make these any time of year. You don't have to wait for things to come into season. If you find pinto beans on sale for less than $1 a bag, grab them and make some of these and put these in your pantry. I promise you, you will not regret it. These are one of our favorites. So I'll be making many, many more jars of our Fiesta beans this year. Now, one thing that I've really enjoyed making is I started making vegetable broth. This was shortly after we got our pressure cooker. Started making my own veggie broth. I'd been making my own veggie broth, but freezing it, I like that I can can it now, keep it in the pantry. And what I really like about this is it's basically free. This is basically free to me. When I cut up a vegetable, whether it's an onion, a bell pepper, celery, tomatoes, carrots, mushrooms, anything that would normally go out to the chickens or go in your compost bin, I put it in a freezer bag and I pop it in the freezer. I have a 2-gallon freezer bag in there. When that freezer bag gets full, I put all of those veggies into my Instant Pot with some water. I cook it down and it pulls out all of the goodness from all of those vegetable scraps, and then I can it. Then when I'm making something that calls for any type of broth, I can just get my veggie broth out of the pantry, pop the lid, and use this instead. And it's so much cheaper than getting any kind of broth that you would get at the store. So I really do love my veggie broth. I will be doing a video on this the next time I make a batch, but if you haven't made veggie broth in your Instant Pot yet, stay tuned for a video on that. You can make it, you can freeze it, or you can can it, and that's what we'll be doing this year here on the farm. Love, love, love it. Funny story though. Make sure you mark the tops of your jars. I missed one jar last year. One jar I missed. For some reason, I didn't put what was in it. I didn't label it. And I was making some really beautiful, yummy spinach tortellini soup, and it called for broth, and I opened my veggie broth and I poured it in. And when I was tasting my soup, I thought, my gosh, it's awfully sweet. Why is it so sweet? Well, I had not marked some ginger simple syrup that I had made, and it was almost the same color. It was this beautiful amber color. And so I had just filled my soup with ginger simple syrup that I had made and was saving for lemonade this summer. So make sure you don't do like I do. Don't miss jars. Make sure you label them properly. Now I have 2 sweets that I just love. And I guess if I had to choose a favorite between these two, I'm going to start with this one. This is a recipe that I learned this last year, and from the first time I tasted it, I absolutely loved it. I've shared this with some people and they're a little hesitant at first. They're not quite sure about it, but it is so delicious. And that is my carrot cake jam. Oh my goodness, this is so good. I love making the carrot cake jam. It has pineapple and applesauce and carrots and coconut and raisins and sugar and brown sugar and lemon juice and all of these lovely, lovely flavors. And you process it down into a jam and you can it in your water bath canner. And when I open a jar, we like to get English muffins. I toast English muffins, and then I put a little bit of whipped cream cheese on the English muffin, and then just a dollop of the carrot cake jam on top. It is heavenly, let me tell you. And we only use a little bit on each English muffin, but this goes fast. This doesn't stay in the fridge very long, so I made a double batch of this last year. I will be making more of it this year. It's that good. I'm hoping to actually use some more organic carrots for the next batch. I believe I got my last batch at the farmer's market from my neighbor. But oh, that is so good. You won't regret making carrot cake jam. Second, a close second, in the jam and jelly department is my apple scrap jelly. If you have not made apple scrap jelly, you need to do this. I'm telling you, this is almost like honey. It is so decadent and so rich and so delicious with an apple flavor. And again, when I tell people what this is, they kind of crinkle their nose up a little bit. But this is a great lesson in no waste on the homestead. I had received a whole bunch of apples and I made apple sauce, apple butter, apple pie filling, dehydrated apples, all kinds of things. I think I had 2 or 3 bushels of apples that I processed last fall. And when you process them, you have the cores and you have the peels. And a lot of the times, those will either go in your compost in the trash, or in my case, they would have gone out to the chickens. But I took those cores and peels and I cooked them down, and I actually made apple scrap jelly. This is divine. I love this. I have never tasted an apple jelly so beautiful as I did with those apples that we processed this last year. So I have several of these left, but I will be making more. I've got plenty of apple butter left. I have plenty of applesauce left, but these are getting used up. I might have to see if I can make some more apple jelly. So the honorable mentions that I discussed, I really enjoyed making our own pasta sauce this last year from the tomatoes that we grew in our garden. It's a messy process, but it was worth every ounce of work. I really enjoyed taking my tomatoes and putting them through the strainer and removing the seeds and the skins and getting all of that beautiful pulp that we turned into a really nice pasta sauce. Canned that with some fresh basil leaves and put those in the pantry, and anytime I made a pasta sauce, I would pull one out and cook that up, and it was so delicious. I loved it. It's all gone. I need to make more. This year we're planting more tomato plants. We're getting an extra freezer so I can freeze some of those tomatoes so we can make more pasta sauce. I will definitely be doing that again. The great thing about doing it the way that I was doing it, where I was putting it through the strainer and it was spitting out the seeds and the pulp and the skin and everything, is I took all of that, I put it in the dehydrator that I have behind me here, and I dehydrated all of that waste. Then I put it in a spice grinder, and I had tomato powder. And that is a great way to thicken up sauces, thicken up stews, thicken up your spaghetti sauces. It is a really great thing to have, is tomato powder. And it's very expensive. Tomato powder is very expensive. So I thought it was really great that I could take that waste, put it in the dehydrator, and make it into something that we would actually use here on the homestead. Second honorable mention is sweet onion jam. I know I have given away some of my sweet onion jam and people did not like it. And that's okay, you don't have to like it. Maybe I told them the wrong way to use it. But this is beautiful sweet Vidalia onions with some balsamic vinegar and brown sugar. And I'm gonna be making some in my turkey roaster this next year, and you cook it all down. And it's just a beautiful sweet onion jam. Now you don't eat it on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's not that kind of jam. But if you put some on top of a slice of meatloaf, or if you're having a hot roast beef sandwich, it's better hot than cold. I did tell some family to have it on a cracker with a spread, and maybe that's where it just wasn't quite palatable. But when it's hot, we love making grilled cheese sandwiches, and we put it in between the layers of cheese on our grilled cheese sandwiches. Mwah! It is so good. I don't like having my grilled cheese now unless I have some sweet onion jam with it. It is so yummy. So I will be making more sweet onion jam. I will be doing a video for that. The last honorable mention is something that I'm actually making right now, and I'm making the video for it, is I'm making ghee. And if you don't know what ghee is liquid gold. It is the butter fat that you can remove from a pound of butter when you process it, and I have some processing right now as I speak in my turkey roaster behind me. You cook that at a lower temperature in your oven, and it will separate the whey and the milk solids from the oil. The solids go to the bottom, the oil will come to the top. And when you process it and you remove and separate those two, you can toss those solids to your chickens. You can put it in your garden. The calcium would be great in your garden. And then you take that oil and you put it in your mason jars. You don't have to process it. You just put it in your clean mason jars and you put it in your pantry, and it is shelf stable for years. It doesn't last that long here. We go through it quite often, but it is absolutely delicious. And what I love using it for is we have farm fresh eggs. And I like using that ghee when I fry our eggs in the morning. It has a very high smoke point, 485 degrees. So if you've ever fried an egg before and you know if the temperature's just a little bit too high, your butter turns all brown and it burns the edges of your eggs and makes them all crusty, this doesn't do that. This has a very high smoke point. You can put it in your frying pan and then add your egg, and you get a beautifully fried egg. Love it. You can use it to pop your popcorn in, saute. anything. It's not good like if you just take it and spread it on toast because you've removed the milk solids and you kind of need that for butter flavor and butter taste. But for a really healthy oil, ghee is the way to go. It has a lot of good health properties. So I know it sounds funny. I think sometimes the names of foods throw us off. And if you were to ask me if I wanted ghee, I don't think I would be willing to say, yeah, sign me up, I want some. But trust me, ghee is delicious. It is a wonderful thing to have in your kitchen, and it is a wonderful thing to have in your pantry that will be shelf stable for many years. So that's it for my favorite items that I want to can again this year here on the homestead. Like I said earlier, if I've already made videos for some of these items, I will put the links in iCards up above or in the description below. And if I haven't made them yet, those will be coming. Oh, I forgot one. Honorable mention, and I don't have any of these jars left either. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. It's one of my all-time favorites. I think because I didn't have any jars to pull, I forgot about it. Homemade sweet pickle relish. Oh my gosh, it is to die for. When my cucumber plants come in and my peppers come in, I will be doing a double batch if I have enough produce to make my own sweet pickle relish. It is a very lengthy process. You have to do a lot of soaking and straining and squeezing and processing. Oh, but is it worth it? The first time I made it, I thought I'm never doing this again. It is very labor intensive. I will definitely be making my sweet pickle relish again. There are times when I crave it so badly that I will go buy hot dogs just so we can have the relish. It's not like I'm craving hot dogs and I hope I have relish. I crave the relish, I go get hot dogs. And I just love my sweet pickle relish. So I will definitely be doing more of that this year. I will make a video. It is so delicious. I will not buy store-bought again. It's going to have to really be some hard times for me to buy store-bought pickle relish again because it is this delicious. Oh my gosh. So stay tuned for that. That's it. That's all I'm going to talk about as far as my canning. Thank you so much for joining me here on the farm today at Country Mama Musings. I really do appreciate it when you stop by. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. And we'll see you again here on the farm soon. Bye-bye.